Hello students, today we are going to discuss lesson number 6, Cascading Style Sheet. Cascading Style Sheet is very important topic as well as your examination is concerned because many questions will come in your board examination from this lesson. So here we are starting our lesson number 6, Cascading Style Sheet. Look students, we already discussed about it in HTML that in HTML we can create web pages, but in HTML or with the help of HTML we are not able to create very attractive or very user-friendly web pages, right? Because we can create two types of web pages. Number one, static web page. Static means in which we can't make any changes or we can only use them only for gathering information. Okay. And second is dynamic web page. In dynamic web page, we can store data from the user side or we can make changes in the web page according to the requirement. So for fulfilling the purpose of changement or beautification in web pages, we used cascading style sheet. With the help of cascading style sheet, we can make so many changes in our web page. So let's start with it. First of all, what are the advantages and disadvantages of cascading style sheet? Number one, cascading style sheet, we can define in it all the commands only once. Yes, dear students, we can define all the commands only once in the web page. After that, we can use it anywhere throughout the web page or throughout the website. So like HTML, no need to define commands again and again. So first advantage is CSS saves our time. And another is page download faster. We all know that the page has less text, then its size will automatically reduced. And in the time of uploading and downloading, the speed of download or uploading automatically faster. So it is the second advantages of it. And third is easy maintenance. We all know that we can change our web page from only one place where we have all cascading style sheet commands. So if we want to make changes or we want to maintain our website or modify our website, so we can do it very easily. Next is superior style to HTML. We all know that it is the upgrade version, you can say, of HTML, but CSS can't replace HTML because it is the main formatting commands in it. It is not a language, as we discussed in class also, right, students? So, but some commands are superior than HTML that make it dynamic. Next is multiple device compatibility, means we can use the web page which is created with the help of CSS in any type of device, just like our laptop, desktop, or you can say tablets, mobile phones, right? In every device, we can open web pages which is designed with the help of CSS. Global web standards. HTML is automatically recognized globally because it is the era of internet, and in internet, without the data, it is impossible to understand the importance of internet. We can collect data from internet in the form of web pages. So, and the basic element of web pages nowadays is CSS, means cascading style sheet. So these are the advantages. Some disadvantages we have also, like inconsistent browser support, means in different browsers, just like Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, the commands or output may be differ in every web browser. So it is the main drawback of or you can say it is the shortcomings of CSS. Now, lack of variables, as I already told you in class and in today's session also, that CSS is not a language. So we can't make any variable or storage location in CSS. It is another, you can say, lackness of it. Now, security threat. We all know that CSS programs are open. Openly you can found on internet. It means it has open source. And when it is an open source, anyone can use it or anyone can make changes in it. So it is not so secure, you can say it. Next is vertical control limitations. What it means? It means if you want to display something vertically, horizontal data is very easy to display in CSS, but when we are talking about vertically data representation, it is quite difficult. Just in Excel, if you want to show the columns, then it is very difficult to show it in cascading style. You can say CSS. I am not saying that it is impossible, but it is quite difficult than HTML. So students, these are the advantages and disadvantages of the CSS. Next topic is we can divide our CSS in some basic selectors in CSS. What is selectors? Now we are going to its main part. Now I am going to show a program in which we will show some selectors in CSS. What is the meaning of selector? First is universal selector. Universal selector works like a wildcard character and is used to match and apply a style to all elements on the web page. Means once you define any option or any you can say display setting in universal selector, this setting you can use in anywhere of the web page. Now I am going to reduce the screen for your information. Look students, first of all you can say the basic structure of HTML as you are very much familiar with it. Now from starting we are start HTML, then head, then title close. I took the title as CSS. You can use it according to you, right? Now we don't need to close the head here because all the CSS command we will define in head section only. Okay students, now we will start a tag that is style type. What is type? Type is also a selector, right? So we will discuss two selectors here. Number one is the universal, number two is type. Type we already defined. Means style tag we will start and in it we will define all the commands. Look students, as it is wildcard, so we will define it with the help of a star button. It is star, right? So here we will start with curly braces. You can use it with the help of shift button. It is just next to P key, P alphabet key. After that, you can use shift key and the next bracket buttons. Here you will find curly braces and square brackets, right? So curly braces. Now I am going to give some command. Suppose I want to make our text green or yellow or red, which you want. Suppose I am writing here color, then we have to use colon sign because some different is there between HTML command and CSS, means cascading style sheet, right? So we are using here red color. Color is equal to red. Then if you want to make any another command, then you have to use semicolon button like this. Suppose I am using here font and size we want to use. In HTML, normal HTML, we have to use font size. But here we have to use one hyphen between them. We can't make any space. This is the another rule of it. Now again, colon button and size. We have to define our size in pixels here. Suppose I am using 20px, means pixels, and again for closing it, semicolon. So this is our first command. This section, my dear students, this section is completely related with CSS. Okay, so what now here we have to close the bracket and then finally style tag. Look, this is the area which is showing us all the commands related to CSS. Now in the body section, you can use this matter or any other matter, like this is my first program in CSS. I write this only. Okay, now save. I already save it with css.html and I am going to minimize it. After that, this is our CSS file. Look, students, now the color and the size is same as I defined it in CSS command. Look here. Now you can compare both the commands. Like color is red. Okay, this is the red, and font size is 20px, means 20 pixel. Look, students, here I decided or define all the commands of HTML in HTML of CSS in the head section only. Here I am closing the head. You can see it. After that, when I start body section, in HTML, I told you that everything, whatever you want to display as a web page, you have to define in the body section. And the same process we will follow here also. But all the formatting commands we have to define in style tag before the body tag in head section. In head tag, you can say. Okay, students. So this is our first universal selector because of this star. So whenever you will use this command, you will find all the formatting according to the given criteria. I hope you are understanding the point. So here we already discussed about the universal selector. Now about type selector. What is it? It means you can say there are so many elements on the internet which will affect our CSS commands. But here we are defining that this section is totally applicable only on text or CSS commands. So it is already defined by type selector. So two selectors we already defined. Now I am going to define another selector. This is class selector or ID selector. Universal and type selector we already discussed. Now class selector and ID selector. Now we are going again to the program. Here you can see. Now I am going to change something here. I am not going to change this one. And on the place of star, because star is related with universal selector, here I am going to start class selector. With class selector, the format is, first of all, we have to write dot, then my underscore class. My class is a class selector. What it will define? Now suppose I am using only color here. Same command will be no change in it. And at the time of display, or when we want to display the data, we have to define it. Like suppose you want to make it in heading 1. You already know that in HTML we have six levels of heading level H1 to H6. So H1 is another style of the size of the font. Now H1, I am closing it. But in H1, we have to define the class. How you can use it? H1, then you will write class equal to, then again inverted comma, or same, my underscore class. Here, my dear students, you will not use dot button because dot is only defined for class selector. Here we are calling it again. We are not using, we are just calling it here. And after the writing the command, we have to close the heading 1 tag. And this is enough for us. Now we are going to check the output of it. Look, students, now the effect you can clearly understood. I am showing you the program as well with it. Look, I define dot my class. It is class selector. In it, I am starting bracket because with it, it means I am telling to the computer or giving the command to the computer to store the design which I gave it to it, right? Now color is red. Now style is close. Again, this is the portion of CSS. Now again head close, body start. Then this time I am using H1. H1 means heading 1. You all know that heading 1 is the highest level of 6 levels, you can say. Suppose I am using H2 like this. In this, I store class. I call the command, this command, this one here by putting my underscore class because it is the class selector. This is my first program. Again, I using the same language, same line, and H2 this time. Now again, look, students, now the change because every heading level has a style, has a predefined size, you can say. Okay, students. So it was the class selector. Now we are moving on ID selector. After that, I will tell you what is the basic difference between class selector and ID selector. Now, first of all, ID selector. In ID selector, we have to change it here. Here we are not going to use dot now. This time we will use hash button. This hash button will show you my ID. I am changing the same also. And again, I am not using anything else. Same ID I am using. Like this, my, where you are writing class, you just replace ID with class. ID. Again, my ID. You just replace ID. You just replace class with ID, right? Then again, no change. Enough. Okay. Now we are going to change as H3. Look, students, now it is again changed. Now, what is the difference now? Because in my class, class selector and ID selector is behaving same. You can say it. Then what is the basic difference? Now the difference is you can define individual ID. ID means area. ID in CSS, right? How? Suppose I am using another ID like my underscore font underscore ID. In this, I am going to define the font size. Font, suppose font size, again 30 px. Now, when we use command, we have to close it with semicolon. I told you earlier. Now again, we will follow same pattern. Curly braces start, in between command and curly braces closed. Now students, I am using another line here with this second type of ID. Like this, I am using H2 ID is equal to my font ID. Now here I am writing some lines. Suppose this is very important to understand this command, right? I write something randomly. Now H2 is closed. Look students, now I am using two IDs together. Okay, now we will see what is the difference in output. Look, first is, let me show the program with it. Look students, first ID is showing with a color red only, right? And the heading level is 3. Another one we are using my font ID. It is related with font size. It is not related with color, you can say, right now. You can see it very clearly that the red color is only concerned with my ID, means first command, and another is it is by default color, that is black. Okay, if you want to change the color also, then that you can use here again color, suppose blue, and you have to use semicolon with it. Now save and refresh. Look students, now the both commands are working. I hope you are understanding the difference between it, because in class interval we have to define only one command at a time. But in ID selector, you can define so many ID selectors, so many commands all together. I hope you are understanding the concept. Now we are moving on our another point, that is methods inline, internal or external. You can say it attributes also, as in HTML we used so many tags, and with these tags we have so many options, right? So the options is called attribute there. But in CSS, attribute is related with method. In how many types of we can how many types we have in which we can use CSS commands with HTML. Okay students, now we are going to start here. First of all, I am going to tell you what is inline. Inline means using style attribute. What is inline beta? In this method, a style declaration is defined with each element of HTML. By using this method, the declaration is to be repeated every time, even if the same effect is to be used by some other element in a document. What it means? It means it is just like HTML. We all remember that in HTML, when we want to change the font style or font size during the web page, then we have to start a new font tag, and after that, after the formatting, we have to close it, and if you want to change again, then we have to open another font tag, right students? So inline is completely depend on the condition which you want to apply on your web page. So it is completely concerned with HTML commands, right? Now we are using internal. Internal and external is completely different. You can say different commands in CSS. And what is the meaning of it? Internal, or one another name is there. If you want, if you face any question in your examination, please don't get confused, because internal or embedded style sheets are same. I am repeating my words. Internal or embedded style sheets are same, because internal, the meaning of internal and embedded also same, right? So please don't get confused in examination. So what it means? It means this style, I'm talking about internal, this style has a broader scope than the inline tag style, as the effects applied in the inline style are limited to the element with which the style declaration has been specified. Whereas internal style are useful if you want to apply similar formatting for all the tags for the same types of web page. It means, students, if you want to apply the commands, suppose you define designing only once in CSS. After that, you can use same formatting effect wherever you want to use in the same HTML document, right? So I'm going to give you some demo that how the internal or embedded style sheet works. For that, we have to use the same program which we are already using, right, students? So I'm doing some changes here. I'm not going to use now these kind of selectors. Now we are moving further. Now style type is already text or CSS. I already told about it. Now look, students, I am defining some table commands here, so that whenever we use this command in our program, the effect automatically will applied on it, but we will define it only once. I'm using very important commands here and showing you. Suppose table tag we are using, TD you can say we are using, and TH, because these three tags are we used in table formation. Now again curly braces. Now I'm going to show you some commands. Suppose border, table border. In table border we have some attributes, you can say it just like in HTML right now. So border, then style, border style which we want, we have solid. Now I am using randomly commands, and in further part of this lecture, I will show you in detail. Here only for your reference. And border, again border and hyphen, border width is 4, again command. And look, students, when I using another command, I have to use semicolon between them, right, beta? Now border color. After that command, I will explain each and every step of it. You just be vigilant. Now border collapse. I will explain everything. Don't worry. Collapse. Right. Now curly braces is closed. Look, students, in style, I explained, I define that table TD or TH tag. Whenever I will use, it will show border style solid, means dark lines. Border width means 4, means is thickness around the text. Border color will be green, and border collapse. This collapse I will show only after 2 minutes. Let me type the table commands very fast. Here I am starting table tag. Table. After that, TH, table heading. Suppose I am using here serial number. TH close. Again TH, start, name. Again TH, table heading close. Again TH, start, then marks. Right. Again TH heading is close. After that, students, before it, I have to start TR command. Now tr close, table row, right? Again tr start, and this time I am starting to enter the data, right? td1 and td close. After that, again td start. Now this is the time for finalizing name. Suppose I am using Samir, and again td close, table data, and last for marks td start. Suppose 100 marks, and again td close and tr also close. Here I am using another line with the copy paste command so that we can save the time. Now 2, suppose Sumer, and 90 marks, right? And finally we have to close the table. Okay beta. Look students, now I am doing nothing with the formatting of table commands in body section. I already define everything in the head section of it, because all the CSS commands will be finalized or already finalized in the table in the head section. Suppose, okay, save it. Now we are going to output of it. Look students, I am enlarging the screen so that you can see it very well. Look students, now I'm showing the program also with it. Look, table td and th. Border style is solid, means it is dark. Border width is 4, its width. Border width is 4. Border color is green, you can see it. And collapse. What is collapse? Suppose I am removing this collapse command. It is collapsing all the cell borders. Now save. Look students, now you can observe the change without collapse and collapse. What is the meaning of collapse? Collapse means we have to define it differently, outer border and cell border both. But when we use collapse command, now all the outer border or internal border will mixed automatically. It is the power of collapse command. I hope you understand very well. So now I am going to make special change in it. Now suppose after some command, here I am writing some randomly line. Suppose you can define a standard style sheet, right? Here I am using br command, and again I am using same command which I used table commands here. Same command you can see, right now. So I told you what is the use of internal or embedded style sheet. Once you define the style of it, we are using this table, and again we are using another table. Now see the output so that you can understand the concept. Look students, again there is no need to define any command because we already define it. So whenever in program, in a web page, whenever you want same formatting commands, you can use it. I hope this session will help you. Now students, we are moving our next command, that is external. Okay, external style sheet. In our previous command, we understood that everything is defined in the same web page. It is internal, but students, we can define all the design in separate web page also, so that we can use or we can attach all the commands with our another web pages. What it means? It means कि हम एक अलग से एक प्रोग्राम बना सकते हैं जिसमें हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ डिजाइनिंग को रखेंगे, CSS कमांड्स को रखेंगे. उन कमांड्स को वी कैन अटैच, वी कैन लिंक और वी कैन इंपोर्ट with our web page, right? So I already typed something for you. You can see it. Look, students, these are the commands. I am going to enlarge the size so you can see it very clearly. Look, beta. Here I write H1. Okay, now here I want to clear it very honestly that H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, H1 to H6 are heading levels in HTML. But when you want to define something in CSS, now you can use any alphabet, any name, any word, any single word for it, right? Means whatever you define in this command, it is completely stored in H1. You can write it B1, B2, anything you can write, or body tag you also define. What it means? It means we defined font family, text align, center, border thick किया है, groove gray color में, ठीक है? ऐसे ही दूसरा जो मैंने ऑप्शन लिया है, इसमें लिया है मैंने फॉन्ट फैमिली, मैंने फॉन्ट चेंज कर दिया. अलाइन लिया है, इसमें था सेंटर, इसमें कर दिया राइट. इसमें कर दिया बॉर्डर थिक ग्रूव ग्रेव, ये मैंने वही ले लिया. इसको मैं रेड कर देता हूं, थोड़ा सा चेंज आ जाएगा. ठीक है बेटा, ये मैंने कर दिया है. ठीक है, अब हम इसको, ये मैंने अलग डिफाइन किया, लेकिन जब इसको सेव करेंगे, देयर इज नो नीड टू सेव इट विद HTML. नहीं, इसको हम किससे सेव करेंगे? विद .css. ये अलग से सेव होगा बेटा, CSS से. अब इसको हम कर देंगे क्लोज, और अब हम जाएंगे अपने प्रोग्राम पे. अब हमारे पास दो प्रोग्राम हो गए हैं. अब हमारे पास हो गए हैं दो प्रोग्राम बेटा. कौन कौन से? एक तो है मेरे पास CSS के नाम से मैंने स्टोर किया हुआ है, जिसके अंदर हमारी सारी कमांड्स हैं. और एक दूसरा मैंने CSS की कुछ कमांड्स को अलग से स्टोर कर दिया है, राइट? तो ये जो अलग से मैंने स्टोर किया है, इसका फायदा मुझे क्या होने वाला है, ये मैं आप लोगों को शो कर रहा हूं. ठीक है, इसके बाद शायद इस मीटिंग का टाइम ओवर होगा, फिर एक नेक्स्ट वीडियो में मैं आपको साथ साथ इसके बना के भेज दूंगा. ओके, सो यहां से मैं ये टेबल कमांड्स को सारे को रिमूव कर रहा हूं, ताकि आप लोगों को सारा साफ नजर आए. ये ऑप्शन मैंने यहां से हटा दिए. अब इसको जोड़ने के लिए हमें तीन चीजों का ध्यान रखना है बेटा. कैसे हम एक दूसरी फाइल को यहां पर जोड़ सकते हैं, इसके लिए हमें करना होगा, क्या करना होगा? मैंने किया है लिंक. इसका फॉन्ट साइज में बढ़ा देता हूं, आई थिंक आपको हेल्पफुल रहेगा वो. ये देखिए लिंक, और इसके बाद आप कमांड करेंगे REL, यानी इसके रिलेशन में. यहां पर आप करेंगे स्टाइल शीट, क्योंकि हमें स्टाइल शीट जोड़नी है, स्टाइल शीट. और उसके बाद हाइपर टेक्स्ट रेफरेंस. जैसे हम वेब पेज को, हम जब हमें इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल लिंक हम जोड़ते थे HTML में बेटा, वहां पर भी एंकर टैग के साथ हम लोग HREF लिखते थे. इज इक्वल टू, यहां पर उस फाइल का नाम आपको लिखना है, जो फाइल आपने बनाई, मैंने बनाई है ext.css, इस नाम से मैंने बनाई है. और इसकी टाइप वैसे तो हमने ऑलरेडी यहां पर ये डिफाइन किया हुआ है, लेकिन यहां पर आप इसको फिर दोबारा से डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, इसमें कोई भी हार्म नहीं है. ओके, सो हमने ये इस कमांड को यहां पे क्लोज कर दिया. ओके, अब देखिए यहां पर ये लिंक हो गया है। अब मैं बॉडी सेक्शन में जाके क्या कर रहा हूं, हमने वहां पे क्या लिया था, एक हमने लिया था B1, आई होप यू रिमेंबर, B1, इसको मैंने टैग में ले लिया क्योंकि बॉडी के अंदर जाके हमें टैग बनाना पड़ेगा B1। और इसके अंदर हमने यहां पे दे दिया कि CSS provides many commands। इसको मैंने क्लोज किया और ये मैंने B1 को क्लोज कर दिया। ठीक है, इसके बाद मैंने एक और कमांड ली B2, जो हमने वहां पे B2 डिफाइन की थी, वो मैं आपको फिर दोबारा दिखाऊंगा। इसके अंदर मैंने कमांड दे दी है कि लोअर टू हायर, मैं वैसे ही रैंडमली कुछ भी लिख रहा हूं, ठीक है ना, इसका कोई इससे मतलब नहीं है, सिर्फ रैंडमली, ताकि आपको डिफरेंस का पता लग सके। रेजिडेंस, और यहाँ पे मैंने इसको दे दिया B2। ओके बेटा, और इसके नीचे आपको मालूम ही है कि ये बॉडी सेक्शन बंद होगा और ये सारी चीजें बंद होनी है। तो ये मैंने सिर्फ इतना सा इसके अंदर डिफाइन कर दिया। अब मैं CSS को रन करने वाला हूं।